For some reason, a lot of you like obsessive, possessive, control freak type of love interests who are willing to torture, kill, and murder to keep you. And I'm not here to judge, but why? I know there's clearly a market, but when did yandere first get started, and why? So to answer this question, we first have to understand what exactly a yandere is supposed to be. You might be tempted to say that a yandere is simply someone who acts on their violent urges when things don't go their way with the person they supposedly love. If we stick with this definition, we could argue that the first yandere was the goddess of love and war, Ishtar, not that one, from ancient Mesopotamian religion dating back to 6000 BC, during the reign of the Babylonians. Ancient anime. Now, in the Babylonian Epic of Gilgamesh, this goddess, Ishtar, becomes interested in Gilgamesh after seeing him bathe. Alright, so this is already starting to look like an anime ecchi trope waiting to happen. So she sees him and gets on a knee and proposes to him right then and there, in the bath. Clearly, this man, Gilgamesh, has serious riz. However, he thinks with the right head and remembers all the stories he's heard about Ishtar, brutally torturing, injuring, and killing her supposed lovers. Ishtar is basically a straight-up alpha female, a sex symbol if you may, and a strong, independent, warmongering woman. Is that yandere? Well, hold on. I think we need some more examples. Another modern example of a violently inclined antagonist is from Stephen King's 1987 novel, Misery, featuring the truly insane Anne Wilkes holding famous author Paul Sheldon hostage. Anne wants to hold Paul in her cabin until he's able to write his quote-unquote best novel to bring Anne's favorite book character, Misery, back to life. She starves him, force feeds him, cuts off his foot, and neglects him for days on end. Clearly something to be turned on by. But is this really what yandere is? Well, let me ask you this. Does Yuno Gasai, the quintessential example of a pure yandere, seem similar to Ishtar or Anne Wilkes? Maybe. They both have an axe. But there's a clear difference, and that, my friends, is Dere. The Dere in yandere comes from the word dere, which means love-struck or lovey-dovey, but in a cute and sweet way. There's plenty of examples to choose from in normie anime, so pick and choose, you'll probably find one. Now the yan in yandere comes from the verb yanderu, which means to be sick, and in this case, sick in the head, violently insane, yada yada, you know, attractive traits. Now, put these two together and you have a cute, sweet personality, but with some bouts of sick and insane violence. Now, if you've seen Yuno, you know this fits her description perfectly. And at the same time, Ishtar and Anne seem to both be missing the all-important dere half of being a yandere. Ishtar is a strong, independent, and experienced lover, while Anne doesn't actually care about Paul romantically. She really just cares about her fictional character, Misery. So yandere doesn't really apply to her either. So then, who was the actual first yandere? Who created these violent and cute creatures, and why? For that, we have to dive into the 1992 manga serialization of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable. The first mainstream yandere, Yukako Yamagishi. Yukako came into the JoJo world as a standard, cute, and sweet high schooler interested in our side piece, Koichi. However, her love and desire for Koichi to be a proper man pushed her to release her violent tendencies. Similar to Anne Wilkes, Yukako force feeds Koichi, starves him, humiliates him, and nearly beats him to death with her stand. But of course, she still has her moments of cute and sweet girliness. But why did the author, Araki, decide to create Yukako? His rationale is actually pretty straightforward. Female manga characters around this time period were essentially all moe characters who were often portrayed as vulnerable, caring hearts with an untaintable innocence. Araki wanted nothing to do with that. He wanted his taint. So he drew inspiration from Misery, which came out around this time, and combined it with his experience from his own marriage, and voila, yandere. He wanted to show the world that women aren't all innocent, cute, and moe. He wanted to show that women were also afflicted with, at times, crazed and possessive tendencies within relationships. and wrote Yukako to reflect his personal experiences. So the birth of iconic yandere like Yuno Gasai, Shion Sonozaki, and Himiko Toga could partly be attributed to Araki's willingness to go against the crowd and develop Yukako Yamagishi for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Until next time, peace.